If you've been considering buying an AR-15 rifle but don't want to spend a fortune on overpriced gear, then this video might save you a lot of trouble. Because with all the options out there, from budget-friendly builds to higher-end models, it can feel like you're walking into a maze with no map. But what if you could skip all the second-guessing and go straight to the ARs that are worth the money? Whether you're new to the AR-15 world or you're looking to add a solid backup rifle to your collection, these 6 options stand out because they strike that rare balance between quality, performance, and affordability. Now keep in mind, none of these rifles are cheap in the bad sense. They're affordable, yes, but they don't cut corners where it matters. From solid uppers and dependable barrels to triggers that won't leave you frustrated, every pick on this list can hold its own on the range, out in the field, or at the bench. We've listed each rifle with its price tag and broken it all down so you can figure out which one makes the most sense for your needs. So let's kick this off with number 6 and work our way up to the best AR-15 you can buy for the money in 2025. Number 6. Colt LE6920, around $1,299. The Colt LE6920 is one of those rifles that gets brought up again and again when people talk about dependable AR-15s. And that's no accident. For years, this rifle has set a kind of standard in the civilian world that's closely aligned with what you'd expect from military spec builds. Many shooters still refer to it as the closest you can get to a military M4 without actually being in uniform. So what makes this rifle special and why does it still hold strong in a market flooded with options? It comes down to build quality, consistency, and the kind of reliability that only comes from decades of refinement. Let's start with the specs and materials. The LE6920 features a 16.1-inch chrome-lined barrel with a 1x7 twist rate, which is ideal for stabilizing a wide range of bullet weights, especially the heavier 62-grain M855 or 77-grain match loads. The chrome lining isn't just there for longevity either. It helps reduce fouling and wear when you're putting hundreds or thousands of rounds through the gun. While chrome-lined barrels don't always offer the tightest groups for competition shooters, they're a smart choice for duty use, training, or home defense. Colt didn't cut corners with the gas system either. The carbine-length gas system, while not as soft-shooting as a mid-length, is tuned properly, which makes the recoil manageable and the cycling reliable across different ammo brands. The barrel has M4 feed ramps cut into both the barrel extension and upper receiver, which helps smooth out feeding under fast or sustained fire. Another thing that sets the LE6920 apart is that it's built to meet or exceed the Technical Data Package, TDP, used by the military. That means you're getting a properly staked gas key, H-buffer, high-pressure tested, and magnetic particle inspected bolt and barrel, and everything torqued down to spec. For a shooter who doesn't want to second-guess the parts inside their rifle, that's a big deal. As for handling, the LE6920 is well-balanced and feels solid in the hands. The mil-spec trigger is predictable and consistent even if it's nothing fancy. The controls, safety selector, magazine release, and charging handle are all standard, but they're responsive and clicky. You can run this rifle hard and it'll keep going. Now, one area where Colt hasn't modernized the rifle is in the furniture department. It usually comes with standard M4-style hand guards, an A2 front sight post with a pinned gas block, and a basic collapsible buttstock. Some shooters appreciate the old-school setup because it gives them a sense of familiarity or because it serves as a blank slate for their upgrades. Others might prefer to swap those parts out right away for something more ergonomic or modular. But either way, the base rifle is a solid foundation. Upgrades are easy if you want to modernize the platform. A free-float M-lock rail, a better pistol grip, or a flat-face trigger can all go a long way in making the LE6920 more customized to your shooting style. But none of those upgrades are required for the rifle to function flawlessly. That's the beauty of it. One thing buyers need to consider is the price. At around $1,299, it's certainly not the cheapest option in the AR world. And with rifles like the PSA PA-15 or Ruger AR-556 coming in at half that cost, it's fair to ask whether the extra money is worth it. The short answer is, it depends on what you're looking for. If your goal is to get a rifle that runs out of the box and gives you the peace of mind that it's made with top-tier parts, then yes, the LE6920 makes a lot of sense. There's a reason law enforcement departments, training schools, and serious civilian shooters continue to use this model as their go-to rifle. It's built for the long haul. Even though newer models have hit the market with modern features, the Colt still holds its ground because of one thing: trust. The brand reputation, the track record, and the consistent quality control behind the LE6920 still matter, especially if you plan to use your rifle for serious purposes like home defense or high-volume training. Number 5. Smith & Wesson M15 Sport 3, around $799. Smith & Wesson has done something pretty smart with the M15 Sport series over the years. When you first pick up the Sport 3, the first thing you'll notice is how well it balances. At around 6.5 pounds unloaded, it's lightweight but still feels solid. That's thanks to the forged 7075 T6 aluminum upper and lower receivers, which meet standard mil-spec dimensions and give the rifle a sturdy, no-rattle construction. You can shake this thing around, drop it in a case, or carry it through a weekend of drills, and it's not going to loosen up on you. The rifle features a 16-inch barrel with a 1x8 twist rate, which is a unique middle ground. It stabilizes most popular bullet weights from 55 grain 223 to heavier 69 or 75 grain match rounds. The barrel is made from 4140 steel with an armor night finish. That's Smith & Wesson's version of a nitride treatment, which helps protect the barrel from corrosion and wear without the cost or accuracy trade-off of chrome lining. Another big improvement with the Sport 3 is the mid-length gas system. Previous versions used a carbine length system, which can feel a bit snappier under recoil and be a little rougher on internal parts over time. Mid-length setups soften that recoil impulse and make the rifle more pleasant to shoot, especially during long sessions or if you're running suppressed in the future. It also tends to be more forgiving with different ammo loads, whether you're running steel case training rounds or premium brass. As for the handguard, you get a free-floating M-lock rail, which is a big step forward from the old-school plastic handguards found on the first generation of this rifle. Free-floating means the rail doesn't touch the barrel, which allows for better accuracy since your grip or mounted accessories won't interfere with barrel harmonics. Plus, with M-lock slots running along the sides and bottom, you've got room to add lights, vertical grips, bipods, or whatever else fits your setup. The rifle ships with standard A2 style furniture, pistol grip, 6-position adjustable stock, and a birdcage flash hider. It's nothing fancy, but it's functional, and most people who buy rifles in this category expect to customize later anyway. And that's one of the Sport 3's strengths. It gives you a dependable base that you can slowly build on over time without spending a fortune all at once. Internally, everything is up to spec. You've got a Carpenter 158 steel bolt, magnetic particle inspected, and high pressure tested. The gas key on the bolt carrier is properly staked, and the overall machining on the carrier group looks clean and consistent. The rifle includes a standard mil-spec trigger, which has that slightly gritty feel most people expect, but it's reliable and breaks around 6.5 pounds. For a budget-friendly rifle, that's entirely workable. And if you ever want to upgrade, aftermarket drop-in triggers are widely available and easy to install. Now let's talk about real-world performance. The Sport 3 is one of those rifles that doesn't try to be flashy but ends up being surprisingly good. It runs clean, eats a variety of ammo, and doesn't seem to mind being used hard. Whether you're running drills at the range or taking it out for casual target shooting, it consistently cycles and stays accurate. Most users report sub-2 MOA accuracy with quality ammo and optics, which is more than enough for defensive use or general range fun. The sights, or lack of them, might throw off new shooters. Unlike earlier sport models that came with a fixed front sight and a rear flip-up, the Sport 3 ships optics ready with a flat-top rail. That gives you the freedom to mount a red dot, scope, or backup iron sights of your choice, but it also means the rifle doesn't come ready to aim right out of the box. Some see that as a downside, others as a plus, especially if you already have optics in mind. Another key benefit is that this rifle comes from Smith & Wesson, a trusted American manufacturer with solid customer service and warranty support. That peace of mind isn't always present with rifles in the sub-$800 range. Some budget ARs come from companies with spotty reputations or unclear part sourcing, but Smith & Wesson has been in this game for a long time and they stand behind their products. If you're buying your first AR and don't want to get overwhelmed with decisions or spend a fortune right out of the gate, the Sport 3 is a perfect fit. It gives you reliability, upgrade potential, and good performance in one clean package. Number 4. Stag Arms Stag 15, around $900. Stag Arms doesn't always get the spotlight, but people who've owned their rifles usually become fans pretty quickly. The Stag 15 is one of those rifles that feels like it should cost more than it does because the fit and finish are surprisingly refined for the price range. And Stag brings something unique to the table too. They offer left-handed variants of their rifles, which is a small detail, but a big deal for anyone who's ever had brass flying into their face at the range. For around $900, the Stag 15 gives you a 16-inch barrel with a nitride finish, a mid-length gas system, and a free-float M-lock handguard that feels both lightweight and durable. The upper and lower receivers are forged and match up cleanly, and the internal parts are well machined. It's clear this rifle wasn't thrown together. It feels carefully assembled, and that shows once you start running it. One of the standout features of the Stag 15 is the accuracy. It groups tighter than you'd expect from a rifle in this price range, and while some of that comes down to shooter skill and ammo quality, the rifle holds up its end of the deal. Whether you're doing slow-fire drills or rapid strings, the Stag stays smooth and manageable. If you want a rifle that feels a bit more premium without climbing into the $1,200 plus territory, the Stag 15 is a strong choice. It's built well, shoots clean, and offers real value, especially if you're looking for something a bit different from the mainstream brands. Number 3. IWI Zion Z15, around $890. Now here's one that surprised a lot of people when it first dropped, the IWI Zion Z15. This rifle is made in the USA by Israel Weapon Industries, the same company behind the Tavor and other battle-proven firearms, and while the Zion isn't quite a military rifle, it benefits from the same manufacturing standards and attention to detail. For around $890, you get a 16-inch barrel with a mid-length gas system, a free-float M-lock handguard, and a solid mil-spec trigger. The upper and lower receivers lock up tight, the bolt carrier group is full auto rated, and the whole rifle feels like it's built to be used, not babied. Where the Zion stands out is in how well it balances modern features with rock-solid reliability. It's got everything you want in a mid-tier AR, modularity, comfort, and a reliable gas system, but it doesn't feel like it's trying too hard to impress. It's all function, no fluff. Whether you're plinking steel targets or running drills in a course, the rifle feels responsive and stable. IWI also includes a few quality-of-life touches, like a slightly improved trigger and upgraded furniture, so you don't feel like you need to swap everything out the minute you open the box. It's a complete package that feels thought through from top to bottom, and it hits that sweet spot where price meets performance. For shooters who want something durable, unique, and backed by a company with real-world experience, the Zion Z15 is a smart pick. Number 2. Ruger AR 556, around $530. You might be thinking, how good can a $530 AR be? But the Ruger AR 556 has earned a lot of respect because it proves you don't need to break the bank to own a reliable rifle. Ruger took a simple approach here: build something basic, build it right, and make sure it shoots straight, and they delivered. The AR 556 uses a carbine-length gas system, which some people might see as a downside compared to mid-length setups, but for a rifle in this price range, it's well-tuned. The recoil impulse is very manageable and the rifle cycles cleanly. It comes with a cold hammer-forged barrel, which is something you usually find on more expensive rifles, and that means better long-term durability and accuracy. The furniture is basic but usable. The handguard is a bit old school. It's not free-floated, but that's something you can upgrade down the line. What matters more is that the core of this rifle, The barrel, bolt, and gas system works well and holds up over time. It's the kind of rifle that's perfect for a first-time buyer or someone who wants a dependable backup gun. No, it's not going to wow you with features, but it's honest. It does exactly what it needs to do, and you won't have to worry about it failing when you need it to work. At a time when ammo prices are still high and budgets are tight, getting a well-made AR for around $500 feels like a win. Number 1. Palmetto State Armory PA-15, around $499. When you talk about value in the AR-15 world, it's almost impossible not to bring up Palmetto State Armory. Their PA-15 line has become legendary among budget-conscious shooters, and it's easy to see why. For just under $500, you're getting a rifle that's not only affordable, but surprisingly well-built. Now, PSA rifles are often viewed as entry-level, but don't let that label fool you. The PA-15 might be inexpensive, but it's far from junk. These rifles are built using forged uppers and lowers, chrome moly vanadium barrels, and properly staked gas keys. The tolerances are consistent, the materials are solid, and the rifle runs well even under extended use. One of the biggest advantages of the PA-15 is how customizable it is. Because PSA offers a huge variety of upper and lower configurations, you can build out the rifle the way you want without spending a fortune. Want a free-float handguard? They've got options. Prefer a different barrel length or a different stock? It's all there. The PA-15 is perfect for someone who wants a dependable rifle that can grow with them. Whether you're brand new to ARs or you're a seasoned shooter looking for a rifle you don't have to worry about abusing, this rifle makes a lot of sense. For the money, it's almost impossible to beat. You could easily spend twice as much and not get twice the performance. That's why the Palmetto State Armory PA-15 takes the number 1 spot. It's the best AR-15 rifle for the money in 2025. And there you have it, 6 of the best AR-15 rifles you can get for your money right now. Whether you're leaning toward the rugged reliability of the PSA PA-15, the solid performance of the Ruger AR-556, or the premium feel of the IWI Zion Z15, each one brings something valuable to the table without breaking the bank. Which of these rifles would you trust as your go-to setup, and why? Or if you've already got experience with one of these, what's been your favorite upgrade so far? Let us know in the comments below. If you found this breakdown helpful, go ahead and give it a like. And if you're into smart reviews that help you make better buying decisions, consider subscribing. And of course, share this with a friend who's thinking about picking up their first AR. It might just save them a lot of time and money. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next video.